Let me go back to Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. We'll spend a lot of time on this program because we've got time looking at the various medical issues. But in terms of a sustained impact on the economy going forward, if there is a situation of a lockdown, already we've seen malls, bars, some restaurants in Maharashtra, parts of Maharashtra being asked to shut down. We've seen in Delhi also a great deal of concern. This obviously has an impact on the economy at all sorts of levels. Imports will be affected as well. Going forward, what is the threshold beyond which economically it starts getting unsustainable for us?
Well, it certainly is going to have a global impact on the global economy, and of course India cannot be insulated from that impact either, because as you can see, there is a huge impact on the travel industry, the tourism industry, and many other rub-offs on other sectors. You've seen many of the sporting events being cancelled and so on and so forth. And of course, many economists are predicting even a possible recession in the global economy. Let's hope that this effect of the coronavirus does not go on beyond a year, beyond a month or at best 2 months, in which case the rest of the year can be revamped and recouped. But it is definitely going to have an impact on GDP growth and global growth. So I'm afraid there's nothing we can do to stop that. But what we should look at is be hopeful that this will pass in a very short time. What gives me hope is the fact that both Korea and China seem to have flattened the curve of the coronavirus spread and is limping back to normalcy in terms of its workforce. So let's hope that this is going to be a trend that we will see in the near future, and hopefully it will lead to a fast recovery.
Okay. Sujata Rao, the former Health Secretary, joins us as well. Ma'am, good to have you on the show. What the government of India is doing right now is trying to ensure that it keeps track of all of those individuals who are susceptible, perhaps in having come in proximity with those who've picked up the virus. But as these numbers keep going up, India has more than 80 plus cases. The number of people who need to be deployed to monitor all those others across the country goes up as well. So isn't this the biggest concern at this stage, that ultimately there is only so much which various state governments can do in terms of monitoring?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It all depends. Right now, at this stage of the epidemic, it's manageable. But you know, if it becomes something like a China type of a situation, then it will be difficult for, say, some of the northern states like Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand or backward districts of UP and Bihar, where the public health systems are extremely weak. It will be a major challenge, because these are states that have very restricted HR also to do that contact tracing. So our best bet right now is to ensure that it doesn't get into the community, and we do massive prevention by solid information dissemination.
Ms. Rao, let me ask you, in terms of a potential lockdown in our major cities, is that necessary? Is that possibly a step which you see coming, even at this rate of growth of confirmed cases in India?
No, I mean, of course, it's not desirable, because there's a clear impact on the economy and there's loss of jobs. But the impact of infectious diseases on the economy is very clear. If you remember 3 years ago when the Ebola crisis broke down, then in Sierra Leone and Liberia lost almost 4% of its GDP. The erosion was that severe. So it is important, but then it's a call that you have to take. Supposing we don't take these precautions and the infection spreads more and gets into the community, then it will be difficult to contain it. So I think the government is trying to play safe, which is quite acceptable. and the inconvenience and the loss to economy will be an inevitable fallout.